Hi, and welcome to our Thursday review session with No Bones About It, Puppy Day School and Teen Training. So I want to just quickly review some of the basics of how we are teaching Leave It. I'm going to go through it with the beginner dogs, with the Puppy Day School dogs, and then with the Teen Training dogs. But we start out with a concept called It's Your Choice. And I just want to be really clear about how this morphs into Leave It. So the way that we do this is if you think about positive reinforcement training, the way that it works is that the dog has to see the value. Something has to be rewarding in it for the dog to want to repeat that behavior. So with things like leave it or drop it, inherently there's a problem because we're asking the dog to give up something that they want. So we have to start out in a way where it's very clear to them, it's absolutely black and white, that they win in this situation.
Yeah, there you go.
We start off and I have a handful of maybe 3 pieces of kibble. And the concept is that all I'm doing is closing my fist when the dog tries to get it. In the beginning, all they do is try to get it. So there's a lot of pawing, there's a lot of barking, scratching at my hand. When they start to back off, I open my hand, but I'm ready to close it really quickly because as soon as I open it, they're gonna dive back in. So you'll see this in action. When do I decide to pick up a treat and reward the dog? As soon as they back away, if I can open my hand and they're pulling away and I can reach in and they're still not trying to get to that treat, they're gonna get to take it. And all of a sudden this light bulb's gonna go off after a couple times where they're gonna say, wow, all I have to do is not try to steal it and I get it. So that's sort of the basics of how we start. And each of them, if they're really, really food motivated dogs, meaning more so the Goldens, they are really, this is hard for them in the beginning, and then they slowly start to catch on. And once they do, then we start to transfer this to other skills. We don't start using the word leave it until I have the It's Your Choice, the silent version, in a way where I can put treats on the ground, I can drop treats on the ground, I can put them out in my hand, and the dog isn't even thinking about going for it. At that point, they're already doing leave it. So I don't want to ever have to be in a position where I'm yelling, leave it, leave it. The dog just knows when there's something valuable, I need to check in with you. So that later down the road, when we're out and about, the dog's choice isn't who can get there first, but, oh my gosh, there's something in there, and your dog, or even in the house, I'm cooking, I drop something on the ground. What does my dog do? Do we race to see who gets there first? No, my dog should know, and we practice in the house also. I drop things when I'm cooking intentionally, and I'll tell the dog leave it. If they leave it, I'll pick it up and I'll give them a different reward. So they really start to expand that cue to lots of different areas. All right, so let's see this in action. We are moving on to, I was just giggling trying to find a good, the dream teen machines, dream teens. We're gonna move on to sort of the more advanced version of this, although the face, I can't even take it. Although this is so hard for Gus in particular. I mean, when I have a fistful of food, his mind is going bonkers. So we always have to start off with like the basic versions of this to remind him to not lose his mind. Take it. Yes. Again, waiting for eye contact with him. Yes. Take it. This time I'm going to wait for eye contact. Yes. 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 Good job. Very nice. So, really hard for him. We're going to keep working on this, and what we're going to do is go back to some of the things we were practicing the other day, which was what I refer to as the leave it landmine. I'm going to put out a bunch of stuff that we're gonna have to start adding movement to. We're gonna add walking and practice that with Gus and Willow. Right, so now, so you can tell Gus really wants to go for these things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold the dog at just the length of leash where he can't get to them. And I'm gonna tell him leave it. Yes. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Yes. Okay, so what I'm not doing is, I mean, I did in the beginning when I was putting stuff down, but I'm not jerking the dog back. I'm not trying to use my force. What I'm doing is I'm not allowing the dog to get to it, and I'm going to cue, leave it. Leave it. I did a little bit of leash tug there because I didn't have enough slack on the leash, or enough tension on the leash. So we're going to walk away again. We're going to approach the item, leave it. Yes. Okay. Leave it. Yes. So that's exactly what I want. When I say leave it, I want the dog to turn away from an item and look back at me. Let's go. Leave it. Yes. Leave it. Yes. Good. Leave it. Leave it. Yes. That was beautiful. Leave it. Yes. Good. So this is something you can just, so each of these items, the Kong and that purple thing, actually have food in that. So this is making it way more difficult. Hey, what's this? What is that? Leave it. Leave it. Yes. Very nice. So this is something I would practice in my yard or in my house first. Just getting that dog to understand there's huge value in ignoring stuff and paying attention to me. That's how we're going to get that more automatic response as, leave it, yes, as we're out and about, so that the dog, when it sees something that it really wants, its response naturally is, oh my God, I see something amazing. Let me check in with you first before I dive, bomb it, and steal it. In which case, if that were to happen, we would use our dropping cue, which we worked on in different segments. Good job, Gus. Come on. All right, so let's review. Sit. Hey. So let's review the rules. Let's review the guidelines for when we're on a leash out on a walk, or we're practicing on a leash in the house. So the idea isn't to say, leave it, and jerk the dog back. The idea is, thank you, dear. The idea is to give the dog just enough leash that they can get close to the thing. Leave it. Yes, that's what I want. I want to be able to say leave it and have the dog look back at me. But again, if I jerk the dog back, they're not learning anything. I'm just physically manipulating the dog. So I want to be able to, and this takes a little practice to know exactly how much leash to give, but let's go. I'm going to try to sort of get him out of the middle of the landmine. Leave it. Yes. Start with some of the easier things. There are treats inside of this, and they know it. We practiced with that. They got to play with this little toy yesterday. Leave it. Yes. Good job. Leave it. Yes. Nicely done. Now, leave it. Leave it. Leave it. So, sit. Yes, sit. Cautionary tale. If I am practicing with things that are really high value, meaning like I've got some rawhide bones, I've got some bully sticks out here. If what I have to offer as a reward does not outweigh that stuff, then I'm not I'm not working this correctly. You need to make sure that whatever you're offering to the dog outweighs the stuff. And eventually we can move up to this really good stuff. I will ultimately practice with stuff on a trail like deer poop, horse poop. Like I will approach piles with the dog on a leash. I mean, these guys think deer poop, it's in my yard. They think it's like doggy crack. It's crazy. So practicing with stuff like that, we work up to, and I have like, oh, Sneaky, it's so hard. You're being so good. So just be cognizant of the ratio of what you have to offer versus what you're asking the dog to leave. But that was very good. Gus loves the monkey. We're going to try to walk by the monkey. Leave it. Oh, so case in point. You are crazy. That is going to be taken out of the equation while we're practicing right now, because I was about to say before he did his little somersault that if a dog lies down and just will not look back at me, that's my indication that that thing is way too high value to practice with. So we're going to take that out of our equation. Leave it. Nope, you've lost your mind. It's too hard.
Leave it. Good job. Leave it. Take it. Gus, you gotta wait your turn. Take it. Ah, leave it. That's not yours. Leave it. Leave it. Rosie. Take it. Leave it. Gus. It's so hard, I know. Take it. Take it. There, leave it. Oh, it's such good babies. So I am happy to report that our field trip today out and about on the Escalon Trail has been really fantastic. Gus. Hi, Gussie. Where's Willow? Willow! Willow's been playing with this buddy, French Bulldog, the whole time. They've been so much more responsive. We did a lot of stationary work out in the parking lot, which is what I always suggest you do. Remember, it's kind of like warming up if you're going to exercise. You got to get their brain kind of in the right place. So we did some downstays. We did some hand targeting. And then when we first came out, I left him on leash for a few minutes, did some more hand targeting, worked on recall stuff, name game, and they've been fantastic. So I'm super proud of them. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye.